Hey there, knowledge seekers. Welcome back to our channel where we dive deep into important conversations that can help you navigate the tricky waters of emotions, relationships, and psychology. If you're here, it's likely because either you or someone you care about may have encountered a difficult relationship, perhaps with someone who exhibits narcissistic traits. Today, we're delving into a crucial topic. What are the early warning signs that someone is developing a trauma bond with a narcissist? If you've ever felt a mix of love and fear in a relationship, you might be experiencing a trauma bond. It's often fueled by a cycle of intense highs and devastating lows. In relationships involving narcissists, this bond can be particularly insidious. Now, why do people get stuck in these unhealthy patterns? Narcissists are skilled at creating confusion, convincing their partners that the instability and pain are their fault. They play mind games, and over time, it can lead to an overwhelming sense of loyalty and dependency, even when the relationship is damaging. This often occurs in relationships where there are cycles of idealization, devaluation, and discard. Before we dive into the signs, let's clarify what a trauma bond is. A trauma bond forms when a person develops a strong emotional attachment to someone who is manipulative or abusive. Now, you might be wondering, how do I know if I'm developing this kind of bond? Let's explore some early warning signs. 1. Isolation from loved ones. Narcissists often attempt to isolate their victims as a means of control. You might find yourself spending less time with loved ones and more time focusing solely on your partner's needs. Think back to Samantha, a young woman who started dating a man who always seemed to know best. At first, it felt nice to have someone so caring, but slowly, he began to isolate her from her friends and family, criticizing her connections and controlling her social interactions. When you begin to feel cut off from your support system, this is a big red flag. Connection to others is vital for maintaining a healthy perspective on a relationship. Isolation's impact. In Samantha's situation, she was encouraged to distance herself from her friends, who expressed concern about her relationship. Jake convinced her that they didn't understand him and painted them as jealous or unsupportive. Over time, Samantha's isolation deepened, and she became more entrenched in her toxic relationship. Remember, healthy relationships encourage connections with others, not tearing them down. Intense emotional highs and lows. One of the earliest signs of a trauma bond is the experience of intense emotional highs and lows. Think of it like a roller coaster ride. One moment you're soaring with joy as your partner showers you with affection and compliments. Next, you're plummeting in the depths of despair due to criticism or emotional withdrawal. Relatable stories. Let's consider Sarah's case. Sarah started dating Jake, who initially seemed charming and attentive. Every time he and Sarah fought, it was like a volcano erupting. The apologies would flow like a river after the storm. He would express undying love and put her on a pedestal only for the cycle to begin anew shortly after. He would belittle her ideas and dismiss her feelings. This push-pull dynamic is a hallmark of trauma bonding. Sarah felt like she was constantly risking the relationship each time she brought up an issue. It's important to recognize this cycle. If there's more emotional upheaval than stability, or if your relationship feels like a wild ride where you never know if you're about to be adored or abandoned, it's time to take a step back. That may be a red flag. The third sign is gaslighting. This is a manipulative tactic that makes you question your reality or perceptions. You might find yourself often apologizing or feeling like you're going crazy. For instance, let's talk about Mark. Whenever Mark would bring up something that bothered him, his partner would twist the narrative. If he expressed a feeling, she'd say, "You're being too sensitive," or "That didn't happen." Over time, Mark began to doubt his memory and emotions, which reinforced the bond with her. It's vital to trust your intuition and recognize your feelings as valid. 4. Now, what about over-rationalization, justification of bad behaviors? This is when you find yourself justifying the unhealthy behavior of your partner to avoid confronting the reality of the situation. Have you ever felt yourself making excuses for someone else's rude or harmful actions? Laura found herself justifying her partner's cruel comments about her appearance as just joking or he's having a bad day. She constantly told herself that her partner's outbursts were just stress-related or because he had a tough childhood. She even felt guilty for considering leaving, often believing she could handle the situation. Trauma bonds often distort your reality. If you feel compelled to defend or continuously rationalize harmful behavior that fundamentally upset you, it's a signal to evaluate the situation critically because it can keep you trapped in the bond. 5. Sacrificing yourself. Imagine you're in a relationship where everything seems to revolve around one person's needs. Rachel used to spend hours studying, pursuing her dreams, but soon found herself dropping everything for her partner's plans. Losing sight of your own interests in favor of another is a common early sign. Healthy relationships involve mutual respect and support. Real-life implications. Now let's get real for a moment. These signs don't exist in a vacuum. Each warning sign represents a wedge being driven between who you are and who you feel compelled to become. When you're trapped in a trauma bond, it affects your mental well-being, self-esteem, and ultimately, your sense of identity. This can also lead to anxiety, depression, and a host of physical ailments over time. I encourage you to think about your own circle. Do you know someone who might be experiencing these signs? Being able to recognize them not only helps the individual, but allows us to intervene in a caring, non-judgmental way. So, what can you do if you suspect that you or someone you know is developing a trauma bond with a narcissist? Recognizing these signs is the first step toward breaking free from a trauma bond. First, it's important to educate yourself. Awareness empowers you to seek help, whether through therapy, supportive friends, or educational resources. Read books on narcissism, join support groups, and talk to professionals. Set boundaries. Healthy boundaries are crucial in any relationship. Remember, breaking free isn't easy, but it is possible. And finally, prioritize self-care and self-reflection. Ask yourself, is this relationship serving me? We encourage you to take a step back and evaluate your relationship dynamics. Remember, you deserve a healthy, fulfilling connection, free from manipulation and emotional turmoil. Thank you for tuning in today. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might need it. Also, comment below with your thoughts or experiences related to this topic. Let's begin a conversation about awareness and healing. And don't forget to subscribe for more insights into emotional health and well-being. Remember, knowledge is power. Until next time, take care and be kind to yourself.